Hi everyone. Recently I asked my Instagram followers to submit their questions, and many of you wanted to know what being a full-time artist is like. So I thought it would be fun to show you exactly what I do most days and answer your other questions. I'm not a morning person, so I usually get out of bed around 7:30 or 8. After I get ready, I head downstairs, I grab some coffee, and if it's a nice morning, I sit on the patio with Fred. Even after being self-employed for almost 15 years, I'm still learning how to balance my time between making art, working on my business, and home life. Most days it all seems to blend together. In the morning, I tend not to really think about the day ahead. I'm really good at daydreaming, so my mind tends to wander about this and that. A lot of times I'm somewhere else. I mean, thinking about being somewhere else. Lately, that somewhere else has been the mountains. Usually around 9 a.m. I head up to the studio and get to work. Today is a pretty typical day for me. I usually start checking email and then do any graphic design work for any of my graphic design clients, which these days is less and less. Right now I'm low on collage papers, which I mainly make using a gel plate, so that's what I'm going to do today. My studio is the second bedroom in our condo. I'm fortunate to have a space where I can work and make a mess. I wish the natural light was better, but I can't really complain. As you watch me work, I'd like to answer some of your questions. I have a degree in graphic design. I've always been a visual person. However, making art wasn't a thing until I discovered quilt making about 12 years ago. From there, I started looking for ways to work faster, so I started collaging. That led me to gel plates because I wanted to make my own collage papers. The thing I find the hardest is combating procrastination. It's easy to procrastinate when you set your own schedule and your due dates are fluid. For most of the last 15 years of being self-employed, I've struggled with money. It's only been in the last 2 years that I've started making a decent living from my art business. Only once I took it seriously and made it a priority, showed up and did the work, listened to my customers, and started investing back into my business did I start seeing the monetary results. After I left my last 9-to-5 graphic design job, I tried a lot of things to make money. For a while, I had an Etsy shop selling vintage items. I worked part-time jobs. I had a lot of freelance graphic design clients.
Working on my art business full-time came gradually and has really only happened in the last 2.5 years.
So it's usually before lunch that I update my Instagram. I don't always do that every day. You know how it goes, but I try.
For lunch, I usually make my own, then watch some TV and take Fred for a walk. If I need to run errands, I usually do it during my lunch break. My neighborhood is very walkable, so it's nice to get out and walk and maybe grab an afternoon coffee. Yes, you can make a living from your art. When I say from your art, I mean anything adjacent to art making. I make most of my money from online teaching. I do make money from selling my art outright, but not enough to make a living. I decided not to pursue that route as the income can be really sporadic and it can be very difficult to break into the capital ART world. So I guess you could say technically I make money from my art business and not through selling only my art. I usually just work on something else on my to-do list. I usually have a lot of projects going at once, so there's usually a lot I can do. Other than that, I just keep working through slumps. Some of my best work has come from just showing up in the studio and telling myself to get to work. What's that quote? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. This is a huge question and it should probably be its own video. Until then, the short answer is I'm inspired by urban environments. The grittiness versus cleanliness, the chaos versus control, the old versus new. It all finds its way into my art. I would start with an 8 by 10 inch plate, a speedball brayer, some Liquitex Basics paint, and some copy or cartridge paper. The best way to learn is to print as much as you can and to just have fun experimenting. The more you print, the more you'll learn. I do have a supply list and online gel plate classes linked in the description below if you're interested. Usually around 6 or 7 we make dinner. I know we shouldn't eat in front of the TV, but usually that's what happens. After dinner, I go back up to the studio and work. It's usually time to either catch up on an upcoming deadline or to make my own art, mostly in my sketchbooks. I mostly use them to collage with. That's why I started working with the gel plate in the first place. I was looking for a way to make grungy collage papers, and I saw other artists using gel plates online, so I tried it out and loved it. I really do believe that a gel plate changed my life. That's not hyperbole, it really did change my life. Again, this is probably its own video, but a gel plate helped me find my artistic voice. It helped me find more authenticity in my art, and because of that, I've received more artistic recognition. I'm more confident in my art, and ultimately, I found fulfillment. I was also able to make art my full-time gig because of a gel plate. Once I'm ready to be finished in the studio, I wrap things up and head back downstairs. I usually work on my iPad or just veg out and watch TV the rest of the evening. As I wrap up my day, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am to be a full-time artist, doing what I love every day. It's a privilege to create, to visually express my thoughts and emotions, and to share my work with others. I strive to never take that for granted. Each gel plate print, each collage, each project is a testament to the joy and fulfillment I find in this artistic life. Thanks for joining me on this day in my life, and I hope it inspires you to pursue what you love as well.